and they do have Kevin's little blurb about suicide on it in between the show. However, there really isn't any movement about what's really inferring about things that are going on with the man that died. There's a lot of emphasis put on the fact that the wife, we're finding out that she's a victim of domestic violence, that he had brutally attacked her not too long before he took his life, and he had throughout their marriage, and there's a lot of emphasis on that. So then I worry about, are they villainizing this man who has mental health problems without saying that? You know, we are giving information to about the helpline. We're also giving information about the Safe Line, but his piece is not really looked at.
But I know you're saying it's mental health problems, but as I understand, he had a lot of money issues, a lot of economic issues, pressures from his show and all that, and how he was going to look, and then things were spiraling out of control, and so was he.
But when we talk about mental health, we're talking about increase of depression, anxiety.
But the focus of the show is on the housewives.
The housewives.
It's not on the husband, so that's why they're not showing from his point of view.
It's so easy for people to...
But to take that information, what people do with that.
To compartmentalize all of this into mental health, that it's not going to affect me because I have good mental health. When the reality is a lot of situational pressures just built up for a lot of people where it feels like there's a no-win.
And they feel anxiety. All of us have felt anxiety at times. All of us have felt depression at times.
And then also, when you talk about post-traumatic stress, you're talking about a haunting of memories and feelings and just haunting that you can't even escape. You know? So we have to relook at a lot of this and how we're saying it so that people don't compartmentalize it and make it look like it's for a special group. Right. It could hit any one of us at any time and any moment.
That's a key phrase. Any one of us can be personally affected at any given time.
I think
We get tired.
I think Gabe brought up a point a while back here on resilience, building resilience within the military to help get through the PTSD. But we do know POWs from various wars have gone through some very horrific experiences, and yet they've survived and gone on to lead relatively normal lives, even with in the face of all of those experiences. So what we do need to do is to focus the research on why some people can go through horrific things and still be healthy, while others, it seems like the first thing triggers them. Cindy, thank you for attending and sharing with us.
I can't come to the November 4th meeting because we have a big fundraiser that night, but I'll get to the next one.
Have you got our website address?
Yes, I have it from Harriet.
Okay. Can we get your email?
Yes.
We'll be in touch. Thank you so much for coming. Nice meeting you.
Thank you, Cindy.
I know one aspect with that I look at the tenets of fitness. If they don't have all those characteristics in there, that a lot of times they're not able to make it through the decision or coping skills. I mean, if they have shortcomings in their physical health, their mental or psychological health is maybe down. But also there's such a thing as social and family. If that's non-existent, it works against them as far as holding a lot of resilience. And especially, in my view, spiritual is a very important part of that. So with hopelessness, that's a big part of your spiritual well-being. That, like through the task force, that's what we're trying to implement. But that feeling of guilt is one of the main reasons why a lot of soldiers may take their lives. And so, like I said, the fitness, those tenets of fitness are important.
That's a good point. Really good.
And so, you know, there's a lot of discussion that needs to be done on this topic. And one of the things that's come out in August here is that Steve Stack, our favorite researcher in our group, and
For those of you who don't know, Steve is on our advisory board. He was one of the founders, I think, of the organization, or early members of the organization, and
And so him and his fellow colleague, Barbara Bowman, have just released their book on suicide movies.
Suicide what, I'm sorry?
Movies. Suicide movies,
Oh.
and discussing suicide in movies
Wow.
and implications of that. So that should, I haven't read it, it's new, but that would be very interesting too.
Yeah.
in
If we
terms of
can,
having
find
come
out how we can get a copy of it and, you know, pass it around. Larry and I tried to get in touch with Steve to get him to come today, but